Hey guys, it's Yolanta from Soullight Space. I'm an astrologer and tarot reader, and in this video I would like to talk about general energy in January 2024, major aspects, transits, shifts, and also some tips for you how you can use this energy for your advantage, and also little warnings as always with me to make you aware that certain energies also can show up in a shadow darker side, so you knowing this in advance can be more aware and avoid some sort of problems. So with this sort of intention, I would like to start. I'm making this video. Today is January 8th, so it's a little bit later, but some of you know that I went through a big redirection in my life. I had a fire in my previous home in Norway in December 1 month ago, and then I had to move to different places, and right now I'm in Spain. So it's like, a big ups and downs in my life in the last few weeks. So this video is with some sort of delay, but still I think that we can talk about this month because there's still a lot going on, and actually mid-January is more important than those first days of January, so it's all good. So let's start. First of all, I already did the video about new moon in Aquarius, where you can also find a lot of information about this month in general. I'm gonna leave you the link here down below. Here you can also find the link to all my social media, Instagram, Facebook, where you can follow me, where I tend to update you almost daily about what is going on in astrology. I also offer personal readings. You can find my offer and the link down below. Just jump into my website. You can see what is my approach in astrology and what kind of readings I can do for you. So now let's start with January. So first of all, I already mentioned that in new moon video that we didn't start the year in a proper way. Two retrogrades, heavy Pluto aspect to Venus the first day of the year, which could be more like shadowy, dark, and intense than fresh and new. Two retrogrades in January still slows down the energy in the first 2 weeks of the month. And I would suggest you to really use this energy to make this final closure of the past. We had this full moon in Cancer supporting this sort of things as well. Reflect, emotionally close all that is, bothering you for a long, long time. Maybe do those final conversations with people that that you feel like there is no closure, that something between you happened and it's still not resolved. So full moon in Cancer on January 6th helped with that. Mercury retrograde helps with that till January 18. So all type of things that are still like in the back of your head, that you feel like you cannot move forward before you will not close those chapters. Also, all the traumatic baggage, emotional baggage that you carry. Mm, during Mercury retrograde and full moon in Cancer, those energies, and Mars in Gemini, which also talks about communication, there's a lot of, thinking, reflecting about the past going on still in the first part of the month. And we might want to reconnect with some situations that already happened. We might want to even physically travel to some places where our life took place before. Maybe something is still there's like some deals, some business that is not clear, not closed. That's a very, very good energy to make this final closure and ending of absolutely anything you can. If there is still some maybe some documents, some formalities. Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn talks about being structured, disciplined, mature, so maybe some sort of responsibilities that you know skipped in the past and now they returned to you. Maybe something about finances as well, like Capricorn tends to bring. So try to make your, let's call it like this blank page for the new year that for me didn't start properly yet. I mentioned in new moon video that proper new year starts on January 21st with new moon in Aquarius, so we can still feel like those first weeks of January we are still in 2022, closing that year, reflecting about our behavior, you know, making those final, the summary of what happened. Um, and I think that's a very good energy to do that, because once we go into January 22nd 21st, sorry, actually second more even, because then we're gonna have all planets direct, the energy will just move so quickly forward. All the stagnation, slow motion kind of energy that we were experiencing for the last few weeks with Mars retrogrades since the end of October, this energy is coming to an end this month. So if I would want to tell you most important dates for this month, then of course full moon in Cancer, final closure of the past that we already went through. Then we have January 12th, that's the day when Mars in Gemini finally turns direct. Then we have January 18th, Mercury goes direct as well. And then January 21st, that's the new moon in Aquarius. And also day after that, Uranus goes direct. 3 planets that were retrograde that goes direct this month. So it's like a really powerful brand new start. The energy of all the planets will start to move direct in the second half of this month, and that will give us this exciting, strong push to really start a brand new chapter. So that's why first 2 weeks of January still we have this sort of, you know, being retrospective, a little bit stopped by universe. We are still not moving so quickly. We are still a bit confused, reflective, thinking more about what we want to do than really doing that. And that's how it's supposed to be. We should trust this process. This energetical slowdown is really for us to make this final peace with all that has happened to us in the last 3 years, actually. That's because this year we are also closing the chapter of Saturn being in Aquarius. Saturn was there since March 2020, and from that time a lot happened in our life. There was a lot of loss, restriction, no freedom. A lot of our plans were, you know, reshaken and changed because of new rules, restrictions, and the global situation that, you know, what I'm talking about. And this year, this is over. From March, we changed the sign of Saturn. Saturn will start to be in Pisces, but also Pluto will enter Aquarius. So there is a huge shift going on this year. This year is really crucial in human history. We can expect that from now on, we will really start to feel how it is to be a part of this shift into age of Aquarius, where we're supposed to be equal, free, original, unique, where we're supposed to have our rights being, you know, equal no matter who we are. And this process will be long and probably also, you know, a bit violent, dramatic, with some demonstrations, protests going on. You know, any change in that way can be quite hard, but I believe that if we keep ourselves, you know, in union together as people against those who want to steal our freedom, then we have a big chance to win with Pluto in Aquarius. The final meaning of Pluto in Aquarius is, you know, power being, you know, back in hands of us people of society. And that's why this new moon in Aquarius in January 21st is so powerful, because we're gonna feel the first taste of that, of this revolution. This new moon will have a very strong revolutionary energy, rebellious energy, also with Lilith in Leo at the first degree, being in opposition to that new moon. So very, very rebellious energy. Is like, enough of this, we don't want to live like this anymore. We want to be free, we want to live, according to how we feel, our heart. We want to, expand. We don't want to be restricted anymore, and we also don't want to let government being so strict over us. It's like, everybody has enough of this, and I think that this energy will have this first spark during, more or less around this date, January 21st, and then right after that, Uranus, planet of revolution, is also starting to move forward. No more retrograde, and we not gonna have retrograde motion from January 22nd till early May this year. So this spring is really powerful. That's why I really advise you guys to take advantage of those last few calm days in January. Till mid-January, we still have some time to really recharge our batteries, re-evaluate our goals, rethink our strategy with Mercury in Capricorn being retrograded. So again, return, introspection, not so much going on mentally outside. We are supposed to be more inside and reflect, and being more introverted in this energy, and think how we want to do that. Write down some sort of plan without without doing anything about this plan yet, because after retrograde we might be still like, we can see that actually this plan done under retrograde still needs some sort of corrections. But for now, really recharge, rest, accept, and embrace this stage of being still a little bit slowed down. And trust me, this is really for something. The more you will reflect now and make those final corrections, the better this real start of this year in the end of January will feel for you. You will be more ready. And we are also asked to reflect about our communication skills and our way of using media, Gemini, social media, internet, TV, everything that is the source of information for us. We are asked to really review if we are maybe not too naive, if we maybe don't follow too much fake news. Something is showing up in TV or media, internet, and we just jump into the trap of being manipulated, being lied to. Media use some sort of news headlines to create panic, and I expect that this will continue a lot this year, especially from March, when there will be this powerful shift of Pluto and Saturn. So I would really, guys, be aware that not everybody in this world is our friend, especially those who rule the world. And I would try to be as much careful as I can in the way how I get the information about what is really going on in the world. We need to have some distance. We need to, be a little bit more in this observant kind of position, not being so much attached to what is going on in the world, because we don't know exactly what is going on in the world and what media are serving us in this matter. This is not for us to be well informed. This is for us to behave in a certain way. This is for us to be under some sort of manipulation, so we obey like slaves of the system, right? And Pluto in Capricorn this year, switching signs between Capricorn and Aquarius, we can have a lot of this. The old system will push even more this year to try to have more control over us, Pluto in Aquarius, and also final stages of Saturn in Aquarius before March. So I expect that February, March, those months will be very powerful, very intense, a lot going on. Um, Energy in a very fast speed moving forward toward the future, a lot of changes. That's why uh, have a good rest for those next few days. If you can maybe go for some sort of little holidays or a weekend somewhere. Sleep as much as you can, relax, and be ready for a big shift of this energy in the mid-January. So talking about Mars in Gemini from January 12, you can expect that your house of Gemini, where Gemini lands in your chart, it's gonna get more busy from this date. And Gemini, as Mars is in Gemini till March, so again next few weeks, a lot going on in this house. More action, more motivation, more ideas, more communication, more travel. You like Gemini, fast moving energy. Mercury is a very fast planet and it rules. Gemini, Mars is our warrior, it's our fighter, it's our drive, it's, all that we want, our goals. So this energy will be now, from January 12th going higher and higher and higher. This together with Jupiter in Aries being for the next few months in the sign again, Jupiter expansion, Aries, fighting for what we want, going get what we want, risking, being courageous about that, being brave, being open to the new, jumping into the new without thinking, and also being, having the self-confidence to, yes, I can do it. It's like nothing can stop me. I don't need anybody to help me. Like Libra needs, relationships. Aries is individualistic. Aries has this energy of spring, of starting something new. So this month, from January 12th and especially after January 18th, when we also will have the Mercury planet not retrograded anymore, this end of this month will be a great time to really initiate new things, new projects, new ideas, doing something, totally different and new. This is a new cycle for all of us. So this new moon in Aquarius on January 21st looks like a perfect day to really plant new seeds, start brand new chapter. Over, after all those struggles, now we can really just close it, forget what happened. I mean, not forget the lessons, but don't dwell in the past, don't dig in the past, in this nostalgia, being stuck in what is gone. Now we are going forward, and we are open into something progressive and modern with Aquarius and with Uranus going direct. So then going back to Mercury and retrograde in Capricorn, same stuff till January 18th. Self reflection, returning into the past, completing something that you didn't complete in the past, rethinking things. Now you need to also know where's Capricorn in your chart, see what meaning the house of Capricorn has in your chart, where's Capricorn energy in your chart. And then you can apply this retrograded mental energy there in this area of life. So it's going to be easier for you to see this on a personal level. But in general, we're supposed to again slow down a little bit and, make some corrections. Capricorn talks a lot about finances and work. This is a very serious approach to life. So whatever you have there in under this Capricorn energy now ask you to be more like Saturnian, more mature, more responsible. So try to rethink how you can approach this area of life in a more serious, long-term, committed way. Capricorn likes to commit and, build some sort of strong foundation, not something for 5 minutes, but something that will grow and last forever, or at least for many years. So find this house in your chart, rethink, reflect how you can become more responsible about this side of life, make some structure, make some boundaries with people maybe that are actually not supporting your goals. And from January 18th, Mercury goes direct. I think that way, right? Like I always forget that the phone is like around. So we can expect that mid-January Mercury energy will also help us to move forward with our ideas, projects, and everything that we planned for this Capricorn house of our chart. And then after that, as I mentioned, new moon Aquarius, the real feeling of new moon, of new year. And right before that, actually, I also wanted to mention that we have conjunction once in a year, Sun and Pluto together, also January 18th, when we have Mercury starting to go direct in Capricorn. So Pluto is also in Capricorn in the final degrees, 28th, and Sun, Capricorn Sun will also pass through Pluto before it ends the Capricorn season. Very powerful day. I want to advise you, actually warn you that, for some of you, depends how you hold the Pluto energy, but those of you who are not so much familiar with Pluto, you might actually feel this day, very like unstable. Something going on deeply there in your soul, and you don't really know what is going on. And that's because Pluto is very intense, and Pluto wants you to see the truth and wants to connect you to dark side, and maybe some sort of dark secrets about you, about other people. Again, apply this to your Capricorn house, what this house represents. So there might be some event situations, very Plutonian ones. Maybe, something that was unresolved from the past now will resurface in order to be healed, to be transformed from darkness to light. That's the Pluto energy. It can be also the day when we might be more suspicious, more paranoid, more obsessive. There might be some sort of dark thoughts about life, about the world, maybe some sort of panic, some sort of this type of thoughts that are very unhealthy. But Pluto sometimes activates this side of brain, of mind as well, so be aware of that this can happen. Try to ground yourself around those dates, not only January 18th, but around this day, a few days before and after. Use the Taurus energy to ground the Plutonian influence. Go to nature, hug a tree, make yourself a nice dinner, go for a walk to the forest. Try to be here and now. Try to calm down those thoughts. Meditation or relaxing music. Try to focus on senses of all that you can see, touch, taste, hear. Taurus talks about that, about sensuality, about being very grounded, practical, being down there on earth with 2 feet on the ground and being stable, having this sort of inner sense of stability. So try to go into that energy, which is more simple, more quiet, more peaceful, if this Pluto will influence you too much in this paranoid kind of vibe. Also, Pluto conjunct Sun, it's a good day for some psychological research, for even astrology session, for spiritual practices, because we have a deeper insight into our psyche. And also into the situation around us. We can see deeper toxic traits of other people. We can see also toxin of ourselves, our dark side. That's why also, if you have some important conversation during this day, especially with some masculine energy in your surrounding, maybe your boss, Sun is a masculine quality. So this energy can, and Sun also shines the light, right? So this truth can really resurface, something very like deep, dark, and hidden. There might be some conversations about some sort of things that are taboo, that are hidden, in the background of your life, like in, underworld kind of themes may show up. Pluto likes to talk about some sexual traumatic situations as well, also money. Capricorn, Sun Capricorn, Pluto Capricorn together, this talks definitely about money, about power, about control, maybe some power struggles, control struggles in couple dynamic. This can also show up like some intense discussions about finances. So very powerful day to really reach this uh, deep part of something, of some truth, of some situation. With Pluto, this is like a sink through the walls kind of thing. You can feel better intentions of people around you. So very, very powerful. Also remember that Pluto brings regeneration. This is a death, but after death, Pluto brings rebirth. So this is like a death of something and rebirth of something new. Very intense day, only once per year, and it would be good to be aware of this dark side of Pluto and use this powerful regeneration, phoenix-like kind of energy when we feel in our power, and we use this power for something good, especially in finances, for example. Then we have this new moon, as I mentioned. So then we're gonna really start like, okay, the new year really has come finally after those retrogrades. Aquarius, futuristic, modern energy, thinking about the future, also thinking about moving forward. So we're not gonna feel that much in the past anymore. And also Aquarius new moon is very rebellious. We're gonna feel like we really want to change our life, transform it, start a brand new chapter, and we don't want to feel how we used to feel in the last few years. We don't want those restrictions anymore. Also Lilith is in Leo from January 8th. Lilith switched from Cancer, which is the energy of motherhood, of being, this is the energy of vulnerability, of connecting to your delicate, sensitive side. So Lilith being there, you can see in the world, like that was from April last year, that there was a lot going on in terms of rights of women. There was a lot of rebellion towards that. How women is treated in the world, not in an equal way. Themes of, law of abortion, protests about that, demonstrations, Iran, all those things, and also rebellion towards, women being pushed to be a mother, wife, housewife, having this traditional role of mother, of a woman. So that was this transit was going on from April till January, and now we are closing this chapter. This transit is over. I hope that you use this transit to see also your repressed emotions, because Lilith talks about that too, the dark side. Repressed subconscious emotions connect to you, motherhood, to you being a mother, to your own mother, to your vulnerability. If you let yourself actually be free in feeling whatever you feel, or you have some struggles with that, so those type of situations. And now being in Leo, that's a totally different energy. Lilith in Leo is very fiery. Leo is in the spotlight. This is the energy of being on the stage and expressing very loudly and in a very visible way to everybody what I think. And Lilith talks her truth. She stands up for herself. She doesn't care what the reaction will be. She just has her rights. She rebels towards injustice. She wants to be equal with men. And this being in Leo, for me, that represents, and this also gonna last for a few months. I think I have here the, let me see the date too. I think it's till October, but I need to check here. Yes, January, October 2024, Lilith and Leo. Leo is the energy of celebrities, influencers. So I believe that there will be a lot of people from this level talking loudly about maybe what is going on in Iran, Afghanistan, maybe in general, trying to fight for rights of women, all those repressed emotions, dark side coming to the surface, and also fighting for justice. Also being in Leo, Leo is love. Leo rules the fifth house of love, of dating, of sex, of children. So we might also see that this Lilith will push many women to actually see that they are stuck in a very toxic relationships, or they have maybe this pattern of attract very toxic people into their lives, and this Leo sign that is ruled by Sun will help them to see in a brighter way what is actually going on. Also Saturn in Pisces, this also helps to set boundaries for those people who, out of compassion, out of high empathy and forgiveness, let all those toxic guys come back to them, Pisces trait, like no boundaries. Saturn helps to set boundaries for the Pisces energy, and this starts in March. So I believe that we're gonna also have this dynamic of many women becoming more free from those toxic patterns in love. Now we're gonna demand only healthy love. We want to be loved in a pure, clean way, just like, innocent kind of energy. Leo is like the energy of children. So we will not let this toxin be in our love life anymore. We're gonna start to see patterns and heal them, because Lilith, as I mentioned, that's our subconscious, that's our dark side as well. This is the dark feminine. So we also need to heal our subconscious patterns, some unhealed childhood, maybe trauma or something that we learned from observation. And this is ruling us from the back of our head, So this energy of Lilith and Leo will also help us to be very loud and wild, and having no compromise anymore here. Like, if you don't treat me like a queen, I don't want you. Leo is queen energy, and I wish all the women in the world to heal this dark side of them that is letting toxic guys, narcissistic guys coming into their lives and, basically destroying them. Now, love has to make you feel like a sun, shining your light and feeling always appreciated, respected, loved, and no other version of love will be allowed under this transit. So I hope that you all ladies who have this struggle will use this Lilith energy to finally be the queen of your life, like Leo is the king of the jungle, and only accept the king next to the queen in your life, and never allowing any other type of person, toxic person, to be in your life. And what else I want to mention? Let me just see the dates if I have still something to tell you. Yeah, well, so after new moon in Aquarius, very rebellious, brand new start of this year. Uranus goes direct, 22nd is the end of retrograde. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, and also in that date we start Aquarius season. Aquarius sun starts to be in Aquarius from January 20th. So those 3 days, one in a row, this is like a huge accumulation of Aquarius energy. We're gonna really feel like we need more freedom also in relationships, because Venus is almost the whole month of January in Aquarius as well. We started the year with this transit. I think it was January 2nd when Venus entered Aquarius, and it's gonna be there till 26th of January. And Venus in Aquarius speaks about being free even when you are in a relationship, not feeling like a slave of your partner, still being able to have your own space, doing things that you love by yourself. You don't need to be like very attached to another person, and another person understands that. Also, Venus in Aquarius talks about being interested in a sexual way, like we find attractive all that is intellectual. So our partner, in case you are dating, you might be now interested more in, people that attract you with their mind, the way how they think, how much they know, interesting conversations and stuff like that. And also on a collective level in general, Venus in Aquarius talks about that again, like we are more and more interested in what's futuristic, modern, not traditional, unique, original. We want to be authentic. If you are an artist, Venus talks about creativity, and we might feel like we want to be more um, eccentric, original, out of the norm in the way how we create art, music, poetry, photos. We want to be free in expression. And the same can happen even with image, or the way how you wear your stuff, look like. You just do those things in the way how you feel. You don't care about the norm. And that's the Aquarius energy that we actually will feel a lot in the end of January. We can have a lot of planets in Aquarius. There's gonna be new moon, so moon and sun in the same day in Aquarius, 21st of January. Ruler of Aquarius, Uranus going direct, Venus in Aquarius. So definitely a strong freedom-oriented energy going on in the end of January. And also Saturn is still there in Aquarius. But we're gonna also have the conjunction of Venus and Saturn during the new moon, which expect us to be more serious about the expression of our freedom, like how we can do it in a really responsible way. um, for example, if I think now about those protests and stuff, sometimes it's good to rethink how you can express your freedom, how you can share the message of freedom with other people to help to spread the message, because Aquarius is creating network and is trying to create this sort of change and revolution. But maybe it would be good to reflect on a very intellectual level. Aquarius is mind, right? On a very intelligent level, how you can make the change in the world in a very long lasting way. Saturn is about that, something that lasts, is like a foundation. How we can do it in the way that will be intelligent. I mean, how you can avoid problems that you might create to yourself by sharing some sort of informations, how you can do it in a more smart way, what kind of resources you can use to spread the message. For example, there's a censorship in media, so you cannot speak directly about everything, right? But you can try to spread the message in a more mysterious way. So then some people who are supposed to get you, they will get you, they will know what you mean, and you don't need to be so direct. So then your whole message will be banned, for example, your post will be declined, right? So I'm talking about this sort of information. Remember, we have Mars in Gemini. Now we had Mars in Gemini retrograde for many weeks. Use this energy, reflect, see what was going on in media for people who tried to say something that was against the system, right? Look at those demonstrations in Iran, that now people are losing life because they went on the street. Maybe this is not the right way. Maybe we should be more smart and do this revolution that needs to be done. I believe that Pluto ending the cycle of being in Capricorn for the next years, this will be over in 2024. That will be the final Pluto in Capricorn path, and that's it for 248 years. Then Pluto will be in Aquarius. Capricorn is a government system, authority figure, banks, economy, hierarchy, and Aquarius is us. So Pluto, the powers, is switching from Capricorn to Aquarius. Let me see. Let me learn from here to here, right? Let's see. Yeah, I think it's like opposite side. I always show the moving forward in the wrong way. Let's see when I learn. But anyways, you know what I mean. So reflect about that too. Reflect about the media. Have some distance. Mind your business. And remember that the game of power, control, and manipulation will be now very intense for the next 2 years, and media will be used a lot to make us scared, make us quiet, make us, turn us again into slaves of system, right? And I think we need to be very open-minded, be careful who we trust, make our own decisions, like Aquarius do. Aquarius is a free spirit kind of energy, open-minded, and Aquarius doesn't care about tradition. It doesn't care about rules, because rules are also artificial. Somebody created them one day in the past, and now we all, like a stupid crowd, follow them without any reflection. Maybe it's time to start thinking for ourselves and start to ask a lot of questions, with Mars in Gemini being direct from January 12th. Ask questions, challenge certain truths, challenge people who claim that they are experts and they tell you that you're supposed to do this and this and that, for example, with your health. Maybe this is not the truth. Maybe that's just some sort of illusion and some sort of technique, psychological technique to manipulate the crowd. So I hope that this message is clear for some of you. And the last transit, January 26th, Venus will be in Pisces. That's a beautiful energy. Here Venus is at home. She's exalted here. This is the most beautiful Venus. The most, yeah, to me, I think so, because, Pisces has no boundaries. That's a beautiful spiritual love and compassion, forgiveness, oneness, feeling one with others, being very creative as well, artistic. Pisces creates always the most beautiful romantic songs and poetry, fantasy books, movies. That's the energy perfect for art. If you are an artist, from 26th of January, the energy of Venus switches from this intellectual energy of Aquarius. We go more into those vibes of being dreamy, romantic, and very loving. So if you have some artistic projects at the end of January, will be very, very beautiful for that. And also it's a beautiful time to fall in love, especially because Venus will also conjunct Neptune in February, which is, beautiful. And also we need to be careful, because we can idealize too much love those times. Pisces likes to see things with pink colored glasses, so be aware of that. I always say for Pisces, we use the opposition Virgo. Virgo is analytical, stands on the ground, this is the earth sign, and Virgo is also very critical. So sometimes a bit of criticism is also healthy, because then we see who each person is truly, and we don't get confused, and then we don't get disappointed because we were living in some sort of illusion in our love life, and then suddenly we see the truth when it's too late. We are already in love, and now we suffer because things are not as we thought they were in the past. So that's all I have for you. I will also post all those dates that I mentioned on my Instagram and Facebook, so you can follow me on social media, so you can have like a nice picture of all the dates to know when what is going on. Uh, Again, I invite you to my new moon video that you can find in the description box. Everybody, of course, is also welcome to book a session with me, meet with me one-to-one, and we can discuss your chart. We can see your transit. I can explain for you also how transit of this year will affect you if you want this type of horoscope. There's a lot to choose. Saturn return reading as well, and many more. I don't remember all the list right now. I wrote many different types of readings, but I like to do the reading in depth when we meet for a longer time and there's more time to talk about. You can also send me your requests about what you would like to talk about in your horoscope. Maybe you have some struggles, some problems, some issue. But in general, final message for January, finally things are starting to move forward. Jupiter in Aries. No retrogrades from January 22nd till beginning of May. What a spring is awaiting us. All the planets moving forward. A lot of excitement, a lot of dynamic, a lot of movement. There will be no time to sit down like now during retrograde. It will be like all the time something, new ideas, new action, new people. Wonderful energy, and all this with the spirit of Aquarius, that I want to be myself, I want to be authentic, I want to fight for my freedom, I want to rebel, I don't want to follow rules anymore, I don't want to be a part of the stupid system anymore, I want to be myself, I want all people to be equal and free. And with Venus in Pisces, I want to really, make this whole world a better place, because I know we are all one. This is all just a one big energy. We are all connected, and the more I work on myself, spiritually speaking, the better the whole world becomes. So remember, distance to media. Don't fall into the trap of panic and fear. Um, this is often just an illusion. Mind your business, focus always on what you can control, on your own little garden, on what is all around you, on your local little life. Try to focus on yourself, on what you can do to grow, what you can do to have this year as good as you can, what you can do to support freedom in this world, what you can do to bring more love and light into this planet. And that's my final message for you. I hope that helped. And if yes, then please leave some nice sign in the comment section. You can like the video, you can subscribe to my channel, you can also use the bell so you can get notification when I will come with new video. I want to really make the video about Saturn in Pisces, Pluto in Aquarius, and I want to talk about the whole year 2023 vibes as well. So there's a lot of interesting videos coming. So stay with me, please. Stay tuned. And for now, I wish you all the best. Have a beautiful month. Don't stress too much about the world situation. This is all, even if it's like chaotic, if there's some crisis going on, remember that every evolution and every revolution needs also this part to happen. There is no transformation without some sort of destruction, without some sort of shock and revelation. We sometimes need this sort of shake up. So be ready for that this might happen, but also remember that we have a lot of power, especially when we are united as people, as society. And I'm really sure that if we turn our energy into our power, into what we can do, what we can control, how we can contribute into this process of freedom coming back to us, to people, the better. Don't let them steal your power. Don't let them scare you. Don't let them be the prisoner of fake news. Mind your business, as I mentioned, and everything's gonna be okay. So you have a lot of power, remember. Have a good month and see you in the next video. Bye.